Our next task is P3, and the simple overview is that P3 is all about making diagrams. This from the overview of the spec, which is illustrate the requirements, functioning and designs of an application solution using diagrams. More detail is required. This from page 8, the task detail. Provide a series of annotated diagrams, I'll come back to that in a second, that describe your proposed application design. Diagrams to show scenarios in which the application will be used, and we're looking for a diagram that shows functional requirements, a diagram that shows process, a diagram that shows data handling, and a diagram that shows user interface designs. This notion of annotated means that they are asking you to produce a commentary on the diagrams that you're making. So a few words to state what your diagram is showing in relation to your particular design. And we're going to look at these different requirements and how this translates into the 4 different diagrams that you're going to make. And over the next few videos, we'll look at how you go about making these different diagrams. So why diagrams at all? Diagrams show different aspects of a given design, and no one diagram can show you everything. I've talked before about lenses, about using different lenses to look at a subject, and here's the actual example of lenses. So here you can see a subject taken through 6 different lenses, from a 24mm lens through to a 135mm lens. And if we're going to insist on being accurate, the 24mm is the distance from the end of the glass of the lens to the actual sensor of the camera. And you can see here that although it's the same subject wearing exactly the same thing and it's the same distance from the subject looks different in each photograph. And you can also see the 85mm lens is the one that's classically used for portraits because it gives the most flattering view of a human. But that's what we're trying to get at here, is that different diagrams give you a different view of your subject. It allows you to test your subject against different criteria, to test your hypothesis, to give you the best possible chance of your application actually working and your application doing what it's supposed to do. We looked at the start at the 4 different diagrams that you needed to make. The first was functional requirements. To show functional requirements, you need to create a use case diagram, and the next video will describe how to do that. Your second diagram is a process diagram or processes, and that would be a flowchart. The third one is a data handling diagram, and for that you would use a data flow diagram. And lastly, you've got user interface design. And to show user interface design, you would use a wireframe diagram.